Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're chasing the rainbow on Arabia as MbL, playing as the blue Teutons, prepares to take on Nicov, playing as the red Turks. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the respective civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now the Teutons are a civilization designed to take a beating. All barracks and stable units get extra free melee armor in Castle and Imperial. Siege units can be upgraded to get a big melee armor boost. Towers and town centers have extra space for units to garrison inside. Take a look here, 0 out of 25 compared to the usual 0 out of 15. And castles can be upgraded to have extra range and fire arrows when garrisoned by infantry, which is a pretty big deal since normally only villagers and archer units garrisoned inside a castle will add extra arrows to that castle. Now, on the field of battle, all Teutonic units have higher resistance to conversion, and if they're hurt, they can be healed by monks from twice as far, which is great news for the unique unit of the Teutons, the Teutonic Knight. This is a super slow, but incredibly powerful, heavily armored infantry unit. Now, to support a big, hungry population, Teutonic farms are 40% cheaper than normal. Now, opposing our blue Teuton, we have another OG civilization harkening back to the original days of the game. I am, of course, talking about the Turks, a civilization built around that brown, that saltpeter. I am, of course, talking about gunpowder. Gunpowder units are created faster, come with extra HP, cheaper technologies, and some gunpowder units such as bombard towers, bombard cannons can be upgraded to have an extra +2 range. Now, staying on brand, the unique unit of the Turks is the Janissary, a more expensive but less accurate hand cannoneer with more range, more HP, a better attack, and more armor, but no bonus against infantry. Now, to support these expensive units on the field of battle, the Turks can field some pretty decent supporting units of their own. Scout line units come with extra pierce armor. Cavalry archers can be upgraded to get extra HP, and all scout line units automatically upgrade to light cav in castle and then hussars in imperial without having to research those upgrades, pay for those upgrades, and wait for those upgrades. Now, in order to be able to afford their gunpowder units, which are, as you know, quite gold intensive, Turkish gold miners work 20% faster. Chemistry upgrade is free, and the free upgrades to light cavalry and hussars saves them about 1,300 resources. So a lot of good savings for the Turks, allows them to field the top of the line light cavalry units as the player immediately reaches that age. Now, as the players continue to herd their herdables, etc., they're both now sitting on the same population, 15 villagers, 1 military unit apiece. MbL moving forward with his scout cavalry. Let's see what he'll be able to see of his opponent's base. Should be reaching it fairly soon. Scouting the perimeter so far, sees a house, 2 houses, 3 houses, and now he knows exactly where his opponent is. Now, let's us take a look at where Nicov is situated. Oh god, this is a completely open base here. The north, unwallable. The west, easy to wall off. The south and the east, I mean, you can wall this portion of the map, but my god, you are going to have a hard time defending that part if it comes under attack. Now, what has his Nicov seen of his opponent's base? Nothing. Nicov, for now, just exploring his immediate surroundings, but right as I say that, he immediately moves out. Let's take a look at MbL's base. Also, incredibly open. The north, the west, the south. Only the eastern portion can be walled off in, I guess, in a somewhat wood-intensive, wood-expensive way. So both players really here completely open to the elements. MbL's gold pile very exposed to the front. Nikov's nice and safe in the back, although his primary stone is incredibly exposed here in the front off campus. MbL, primary stone, nice and safe to the left side of his base. So both players with an exposed mineral line, stone for Nicov, gold for MbL. Both players with a, another resource safely tucked away. So I would say equally advantaged, equally disadvantaged in different ways. That being said, both players are now up to feudal. Let's see how they decide to go, which units they decide to build. For now, Nicov continuing to scout his opponent's base. We'll see the entire southern portion. We'll see if he decides to go in or whether this is a more of an exploratory map journey than locate your opponent journey. His opponent, though, doing a good job finding the extremities of Nikov's base. So sees the wall off to the west. But, of course, again, these maps, sorry to anyone on a smaller screen, I am zooming out. Very exposed here, very far, very hard to wall. This is not something we see every day, a ring of trees along just one tile like this. Very cool. Always down to see new and interesting things in Age of Empires. Both players now in feudal. A stable going down for our Red Turk. What is MbL going to build? A mining camp. Both players sitting on the back of 19 villagers, both going up to the low 20s. Okay, and now Nicov says, you know what? I noticed your scout poking and prodding. I know you're looking for an avenue of attack here. I'm not going to give you one, even though there's no chance in hell I can defend this part. If you decide to attack it, I'm still going to try to wall it off. But this is a huge investment of wood here by Nicov. Take a look. I'm going to zoom out again. Look at the chunk of map that he's carved out. One villager pulled off the line on the left. Another villager pulled off the line on the right. Another. So 3 essentially idle villagers adding to the one that was idle a second ago. So MbL here in firm control of the economic advantages here, having more productive villagers at the moment, which allows him to build this military and move out onto the map. But our Turk sitting on 2 scout cavalry, building a 3rd. Where exactly are they? They are at home, hanging out, winning, preparing to rush out, but they're going to run straight into a blue spearman. They ignore the spearman. They move forward. They see an archer. Okay, so Nicov decides to turn around, says, you know what? I don't want to have to deal with this mini aggression here. Another blue dot streaming across the map. It is an archer. Interesting. Now it's MbL who's chasing Nicov for a brief moment. We'll catch this reinforcing archer, and that archer is donezo. Not the crazy game-ending army here by MbL. We've got a scout at half health. We've got 1 archer and 1 spearman. So I'll be about 55 years old by the time these guys manage to bust their way into Nikov's base. But for now, Nicov himself not being super duper productive with his 3 scouts, not really being able to find any kind of damage. Still just the 1 kill of that archer they caught reinforcing. Although with that kill, he seems to have scared MbL completely. Now MbL moving down the right side as opposed to the left. Although I wonder if that's just where he placed his barracks. No, the spearman went completely off campus. Another spearman being built. 2 archers garrisoned inside here. Not sure why I'm whispering. Sneaky, a 4th scout cavalry from our Turk dies as well as the spearman. But for the price of 1 scout cavalry to get a scout, a spear, and a skirm, not a bad trade by any stretch of the imagination. 30 villagers for Nicov, 29 for our blue Teuton. By the way, a Teuton's a fan favorite civilization. I thought I was this just goes to show you how big of a you know, how out of touch I might be. I thought I was one of the few people who actually thought the Teutons were a pretty cool civ. But it turns out a lot of you guys like the Teutons too. They're a super fun, very versatile civilization, good tech tree, and just very powerful. And it's always good that to see fellow Teuton lovers, the rootin' Teutons, let's call them, for blue here, gets shoes away. Nicov with 2 spearmen. Now this army might, instead of when I'm 55, bust into the base, maybe when I'm 53, given that there's now 3 archers and 2 spearmen. But the palisade, weak as it is, will go down. Behind it, though, we've got a secondary wall off of structures. This is not Nikov's first time at the rodeo. He knows exactly how to wall off against these weaker feudal age units that are trying to poke and prod into his base, while he at the same time explores the western frontier of MbL's settlement here. Okay, locates the stone. And let's see, is this the same army? I didn't see any blue dots. I see a few streaming across the map, but they've kind of stopped halfway. You know, if he adds 3 more archers to this, he might be able to annoy the hell out of Nicov a little bit, like he's doing right now. Wisely keeping his archers outside the range of the town center. Cute play by him, and now he's coming in with 3 scout cavalry. Might be able to get 1 or 2 villagers before the spearman just demolishes these guys. Runs away. Beautiful play by Nicov. Manages to get one snipe, 5 kills on these scout cavalry. Remember, they did manage to kill the archer in the beginning, the 3 military units that were here before. And now MbL spreading his units out is just being very annoying. Deactivates 2 farms. Not sure why this one is not being tilled. I think it's not within the range of the... It shouldn't be within the range of the archer, right? Maybe this one? I don't think this is within the range, is it? In any event, it is not operational. Another archer, another spearman, another 2 archers here. It's got to be careful, though. This is a nice kill zone if red comes in with 1 or 2 scout cavalry. Not that he is. He's hanging out in the middle of the map. Look at that HP. It's at half HP. Needs to get those... needs to get to castle. Does red. He is a minute away. A full minute ahead of his opponent. For now, military count, take a look. 15 to 4. Nicov just rushing up to castle, putting a lot of faith in his defenses. Now we've got another stonewall actually here to help. But poke and prod, little bit here, little bit there. You see a house slowly going down, but it still has 160 HP. It should be repaired. Okay, yeah, it finally takes this farm. I didn't understand why this farm wasn't taken. Maybe it was a bit of overkill. And now the Turks reach castle immediately. The scout cavalry becomes light cavalry. That's the incredible power of the Turks. You know, they're known for their gunpowder. They're known for their cavalry archers. But this, in my opinion, is just as equally an important upgrade. The second you hit the next stage, if you've got any kind of light cavalry out on the map, they just upgrade to the next stage of their evolution. 7 archers, 6 spearmen. We'll see in 20 seconds what he decides to do with it. Beautiful. Castle going down for our red Turk. I wonder if he could have placed it here. In any event, it is a King of the Hill castle. Nice and defensive. Protects the west, the northwest, while his own scout cavalry rush to try to bust through this palisade here. There's 5 of them. They should make quick work of this palisade, but no. MbL's reaction time faster, and he is also now in castle. Economic upgrades. Bodkin going down for him. Is this a gap? Not that it really matters at this point. There's a castle now. Janissaries being built. Oh, you love to see them. A knight from our Turk, who is now only, what is that, 4 times behind in military supply. Although with a knight, 4 janissaries and 5 light cav, he does beat out whatever MbL has, which is 19 feudal age archers. Okay, you know what? Maybe 19 might be a bit too much for his army to handle. Hopefully we get to see these upgraded at some point. He's going up to 21 archers is our blue Teuton. A bunch of them stuck in here. 7, 5. A lot of them garrisoned. I wonder why. Is he planning to spring a trap? Does he just want to hide their presence, their existence from his opponent? Apologies, guys. There is a snowplow in my driveway, in the driveway of my building. Oh, it finally does reveal them, although there's a little bit too early. 27 seconds away from being crossbows. So if you hear a bit of a scraping sound, a scraping noise, it snowed a lot in Toronto yesterday. A huge amount of snow. And now the plows are out doing what plows do, getting rid of the snow, putting ice on the ground. So you might hear a little bit of scraping like that sound. Of course, I'd have to choose this exact moment to come and do the work. Crossbows moving forward, though, very much outnumbering his opponent. Nikov's army count being basically, this is 2/3 of his army right here. 2/3 of his army at 2/3 health. And where is the last knight? Okay, just hanging out in the north portion of his base. A mangonel in production. Okay, great move here by Nicov. Should zone out those crossbows nicely. Town center, I like this location. Good room for farms to the north, to the west. Decent access to wood. A 3rd town center going down. Also great location. Right next to the gold. A 2nd town center went up for our red Turk a while ago, but let's take a look at villager count. He is very much ahead. So he has sacrificed his army count for military count. And now we'll see whether or not that was a good move as crossbows move into the west. Crossbows move into the north. I mean, the more powerful unit here is the Janissary, but when it's outnumbered this much, let's take a look at compare the accuracy base accuracy of 50, base accuracy of 85. So not only is he outnumbered, but his opponent has more accurate firing units. A third town center going down for him. Not a bad location also. Some access to these farms that are already built. Some more space once these oaks go down. But MbL not relenting, continuing to circle around Nikov's base. And now what is MbL building more and more stables? Is he transitioning to cavalry? Does not have a single cavalry upgrade, not an attack, not a defensive upgrade. He is moving forward. He's going to try to get the Scorpion, but let's see his vision. If you watched live yesterday, there were a bunch of awesome civ matchups where you had Ethiopian foot archers with a +2 range. And my God, when they come with +2 range, can you see a lot more? It is impressively crazy how much more you can see when you have a civ bonus that gives you extra vision. Always a very valuable tool in a game of war, in a game of skill like this. Information asymmetry is basically as valuable as it is in real life war, which is incredibly valuable. I mean, just look to World War II to see just how valuable tricks and informational asymmetry can be to get your opponent, your whoever it is you're fighting, off balance, or to move left while you move right. Now he's drawn all of Nikov's army here to the right, chasing these guys, but what is he going to do with all these crossbows? Manages to shoot away a Scorpion. Bob the Bear also entering the chat. Oh, attacked from the left, attacked from the right, and Nicov now has to consolidate his forces in the middle of the map. Sorry about that, everybody. The game glitched out there for a couple of seconds. Nicov moving out onto the map. Not sure this is the smartest move, though. Not that many Janissaries here. 11 Janissaries, a Mangonel, and a Scorpion. Take a look at MbL, though. Secretly has been building. Where are these 9 knights? Here they are, hidden 4 and 4 inside. Nicov moving forward with 16 army supply against 42. But does it matter? MbL's army here to the left, circling the base. His army to the right, trying to make an entrance into the center, maybe to snipe off reinforcements. But I want to keep my eye out on here. Let's see when the knights... Okay, the knights are out. Let's take a look at Nikov's vision and see when he notices the knights, if at all. The deer moves. We know why it moved. There we go. Now he sees the knights, has to retreat immediately. And MbL brought back these the army from the west and the army from the east moving south to try to catch Nikov's army. Oh, his army is going to get decimated. These Janissaries are not long for this world. Behind this, he's building a very aggressive town center here in the front. Okay, needs the stone, I guess. Only has 200 in the bank. These Janissaries doing what they can. Oh, look at all the archer fire they're running through, but no, ultimately they all pay the price, as does one more who now just dies on the ground here. Another town center for our Turk. This one is incredibly exposed. This is very far from the production facilities of his base. Not sure this is the smartest move, or the most, I guess the most effective move, but he does need resources. He needs that gold. This is going to eventually run out. There's only, what, 3,000 gold left here. This is a good time to take a bit of gold. But you know your opponent is moving forward with a huge army supply. Take a look. Is it literally 8 times the size of... MbL's army is literally 8 times the size of Nikov's army. And MbL, he's going to move east. He's going to discover this base right away. So that's going to be a target for him now. These knights, let's see if they decide to engage, decide to go after some villagers. Let's take a look at their armor. 5 Pierce are, remember, because they're Teutons, they get the extra +1 melee, and once, if and when he goes to Imperial, that'll become +2 melee. For now, MbL taking the resources all over the map, protecting this gold with crossbows, more gold taken by him here. Yeah, you can't let a Teuton take this much gold on the map. Otherwise, you're just going to get swamped by some of the tankiest units. Remember, Teutons have access to a lot of heavy hitting units. I'm talking paladins. I'm talking siege onagers, bombard cannons, bombard towers. You do not want to let them take all the gold on the map, that is for sure. But for now, MbL moving forward with a bunch of knights. Takes a few rocks to the face. These knights get softened up for the Janissary. Tries to Viper Wall, does Nicov. Okay, gets a good amount of damage with this one Mangonel. But now that the Mangonel is gone, these Rams are free to come in. I see a bunch of action here as well. No, no. Run away to the town center. This is a massacre here. Take a look at the kill count. 8, 9. Oh my god. 12 villagers killed by these knights, who now will take down that town center if Nicov doesn't respond in kind. For now, he does not have enough army to defend the east and the west. This reminds me of the Roman Empire in real life. Trying to expand westward, trying to expand eastward, but ultimately not having the resources to maintain such a big settlement, such a big area of political control. And at the end, both both end up falling. Nicov here, though, will lose this town center. He's got nothing to defend this. What is he building? 13 Janissaries. He is going up to Imperial. I like that, on the back of 111 villagers. So he does have the villager lead, but the resources on the map are being taken by his opponent, who has 35 villagers on gold and is also himself about 30 seconds only behind his opponent and going up to Imperial. Rebuilds this town center. Very cocky here by Nicov. I mean, this is a desperation move. He needs this stone. He needs something. The resources besides this gold are completely gone. This is an entirely exposed area here. Oh, okay. Right as I say that, he walls off. The caster's curse, guys. I say he's going to go left. He ends up going right. He is moving out with these Janissaries. This must be a distraction move. This must be a I'm going to posture here like a chihuahua, yelling and making a lot of noise so that you don't investigate and look too closely at just how far behind I am in military count. 13 to 38. Yikes. The only thing I can say for the Turk right now is that he is going to get the gold. He is going to get the stone. For some reason, MbL taking his foot off the gas, continuing to build knights. 26 going up to, what is that, 30, 35. He's got the resources. Are we going to see Cavalier upgrades? He is upgrading them nicely. So take a look at their melee now. It is in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Should jump to 2+4. There it is. And let's see if he gets the Cavalier upgrade. I mean, that's the only reason I can think of why he's not just swarming his opponent. Oh no, bye-bye bear, says MbL. No, maybe I'm wrong. This is the, by the way, I always like to harp on structures in the middle of the map. Not only do they give you the ability to produce military, but your opponent also has to deal with them when they try to move out. So a very smart play here to build these houses, although Nicov ignoring them, choosing to demolish instead the one production facility. Okay, now he's going camels, but that did delay him a little bit. So these Janissaries, instead of going and attacking, for example, a mineral line that's completely exposed, he instead took all the time in the world to demolish a siege workshop, which wasn't producing anything. 50 seconds away from Cavalier. Not sure this is the best engage here for MbL, although he should do well here. But these are some pretty heavy hitting units out of the Turks. I mean, remember, if the Teutons can field some heavy hitting units, my god, can the Turks as well. But let's see again, army supply now growing to half. Camels pushing back these knights. I mean, that was a huge waste of knights by MbL, who's now 7 seconds from Cavaliers. He could have had double this in Cavaliers. Instead, now sitting on 19. His opponent with camels out. Take a look at the attack bonus against cavalry. Isn't that crazy? 18 attack bonus against cavalry. So these knights are going to do quite well at defending here. Also getting husbandry, getting forging. They are going to be faster. They are going to be attacking much stronger. Remember, they are heavy camels now. MbL moving forward with the castle. One villager did not get the memo, just hanging out at the top of the hill here, doing nothing, while his military beneath him dies to these camels and Janissaries. Is Nicov doing this? Is he turning this game around after being behind literally 8 times the army supply? MbL moving into infantry. Good idea, but needs to come up with an answer to these Janissaries, because Nicov can put up a meat shield all the live long day. Remember, because he is Turks, the second he hit Imperial, his light cav become Hussars. He does not need to wait. He does not need to invest the resources. It is an expensive upgrade. For now, though, getting only 2 Hussars, instead opting for 19 heavy camels. Both players tiptoeing around this very annoyingly placed forest here, not knowing whether to go left or right. Finally, the archers from Feudal Age, which became crossbows in Castle and Imperial, have finally paid the price. And for the first time in this game, Nicov, for a brief second, overtakes his opponent in army supply. Takes a terrible engage here on the low ground, but 35 to 39 is a far cry from where he was a second ago, or rather 10 minutes ago. Now building a town center, wants to take the gold for himself, but going to lose this town center. A treb, 2 trebs out for our Teuton. Where is this treb for our Turk? Completely exposed here. But the action, neither player really caring that much. The action more in the center of the map. These barracks are hiding a juicy payload. Look at the amount of pikemen inside here. In 15 seconds, these are going to be halbs. They are going to escape from these barracks where they've been garrisoned, and they're just going to shred through these camels. If the camels are there, oh my god, what a surprise, what an ambush here by MbL. Fantastic play, and now he's swarming back into the center of the map. Does have to be careful. Janissaries versus halberdiers, we know how that goes. Oh, I bet he wishes he had that werewolf upgrade. That treb would be dead already. And now cavaliers moving forward, they're going to contest this placement of the town center. Nicov very aggressive with his town center placement. Halberdiers wasting their lives trying to attack. Why did I see this under attack? Okay, because of the treb right here. I mean, speaking of exposed trebs, he should lose this treb, but I mean, MbL here with the treb right next to his enemy's gold mine. A very defensive castle. He is setting up for the long game. He does not want to be raided. He does not want to be attacked on the flanks in the rear. He wants to be the one putting on the pressure. He wants to be the one pulling his opponent left, right, and center instead of the other way around. So MbL here just exerting control all over the map. Oh god. Nicov, despite losing all these villagers, is still in the villager lead. Only half the army supply now, but remember, MbL's army now includes 20 halberdiers, so this 55 number is a little bit inflated, especially when compared to Janissaries, although now, sadly, only 5 of those awesome cannoneers left in this game. He is making the tech switch to Hussars, and okay, I think yeah, he was being raided to the south here. Halberdiers pushing in. This treb, I mean, it's on fire. Something must have attacked it. I don't know what. These camels probably en route. These villagers could knock this treb down. A very aggressive placement. I mean, Nicov very aggressive with his town center placement. Loses a bunch of town centers throughout the game, but I mean, Hera level micro out of Nicov here to get back into the game. Take a look at the villager count, 129 to 134. Army supply, for one brief shiny moment, he took a 1 army supply lead against his opponent, but my god, you can still see the remnants of the camels in this ambush. What a fantastic ambush here by MbL. Nicov should have seen the flags on the barracks, but at that point, he had no choice. He has to engage. You cannot let, like I said, you cannot let a civilization with as many heavy-hitting units as the Teutons just take all the gold on the map. MbL was taking this gold. MbL was taking this gold. Now he's secured himself this pile as well. This looks almost, instead of a Hussar, this looks kind of like a reindeer, no? With these 2 big antlers. Anyway. Nicov sees the ambush being laid to the east. His base is continually under attack. This treb should have gone down a long time ago, but for some reason still standing. Let's take a look at the production that MbL has, because Nicov has seen it all, by the way. So we're working with 7 barracks, 7 stables. Nicov on for his own military industrial complex, 1 barracks and 6 stables. 2 castles with a bunch of units garrisoned inside, healing up. But ultimately, I think, yeah, he's open to the west. He's exposed in the northwest. He is completely open to the east. Lost a town center. Rather, 2 town centers he lost. Finally, instead of building a town center, decides to build a mining camp. And now he's being raided by cavaliers. I mean, these aren't hussars. You can send your camels to deal with hussars, but to deal with cavaliers and bigger groups of cavaliers, I mean, 33 going up to 36, I think was beyond Nikov's ability. Take a look at his resources. He's got 67 gold. So once he loses these camels, which, by the way, are horrible HP, sitting at less than 2/3 of their HP, he does not have the ability to rebuild anything. Remember, Turks have, let's say, one of the worst. I don't want to say the worst, because I'm sure an argument can be made for other civs, but they have some of the worst trash units in the game. No pikemen, no halberdier, no elite skirmishers. There's nothing that Nicov can produce except for hussars to deal with this. Now, he can produce hussars, don't get me wrong, if you swarm your opponent, but out of only 6 stables, way too few. If he had 12, I would say, you know what, he shouldn't have GG'd, maybe should have stuck around for a little bit longer. But no, with only 6 stables, no way he's reinforcing. 106 cavaliers to 60 camels, 180 APM a short while ago, 137 earlier on in the game. So a fairly fast-paced game for MbL. Nicov taking a bit more of a relaxed approach. MbL 180 kills to the 188 of his opponent, but he has killed 57 villagers. And let's take a look at the relic gold, see if that helped. Nah, not that much. Only 1,100 gold. I mean, but this is the stat. Take a look at this. Even if you take out this 1150, that leaves what? 13... about 13,000? 13,000 to 9,700. So about 3,000 gold more. There's nothing our Turkish player can do. I mean, trash resources, like I said, is great when you're playing civilizations that give you bonuses and features when it comes to halberdiers or you know, infantry, skirmishers, etc. But when it comes to the Turks, their trash is literally trash. It's not even if there was a substrata of trash, that's where the Turk trash units would be. So overall, MbL from the beginning of the game being incredibly aggressive, taking all 5 relics on the map. Surprised he's only got 1,100 extra gold out of that, although he must have taken them later on in the game. Nicov doing his best for a short, brief period of time. I really thought that he would be able to contest MbL's aggression, but no, he took that terrible fight here, and then he just could not keep pace with MbL's production of cavaliers and halberdiers, more importantly. The second he introduced halberdiers into the game, without janissaries, camels, horrible against halberdiers. So, well, at least Turkish camels, especially with a only +1 attack upgrade. So overall, MbL takes the resources. MbL takes control of the center of the map, control of the flanks of the map, sets himself up to defend against possible harassment, and just overwhelms his opponent, takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.